Flying soldiers from the sky, fearless men who jump and die, men who do just what they say, the brave men of the Green Beret, Silver Wings.
Thanks for joining us on the Constitutional Patriots radio show. The hosts tonight will be Johnny and Chuck. So now I will turn the microphone over to Johnny. So here's Johnny.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the United Constitutional Patriots radio show, where you're going to get news and the truth of America. Tonight, our show is not going to be the normal show. We have a hurricane coming in, Hurricane Florence, off the coast of either North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, but it's headed that way, and right now it's a Category 4. We are deploying men and women of the Patriot, not just the United Constitutional Patriot groups, but the Patriots from all over to the East Coast, so they can be there when this hits, so they can help the people that are going to be in floods, so we can help the people that are losing their homes. We're going to get them water, get them food, anything we can. We'll be doing rescue, but we need everybody's help. We have set up a fund for this that we will post on our page, and what we're going to do is we're asking people to donate. Doesn't matter if it's $1, doesn't matter if it's $10. Every little bit helps. This money is used to deploy the troops from throughout the United States, like we always do, to help these people that are losing their homes. It could be families of yours that need this help. It could be our men that is able to pull them out of water, put them in a boat, and get them to safety. There's a whole lot involved in this. But first, we're going to cover this storm, and we're going to keep plugging to get all the help we can. Now, we do have a place where you can get clothes to, supplies, things that will help, medical supplies, water, whatever is needed. And we will give you the phone numbers on this here in a little while. We need to do this just as soon as fast as possible, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to turn this over to Chuck, and he can give you the breakdown, and we're going to cover this, and so you will know exactly what is going on and how serious it is. And thank you, and welcome to the United Constitutional Patriots Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is what we're dealing with. It appears very clearly that this hurricane that we've got coming in is a monster. We've got photographs posted here in the radio room chat that we're going to try to repost so you one at a time, so that we can. So that you can see what it looks like as you're watching our YouTube live stream. What we have right now is Florence is now 1,170 miles southeast of Cape Fear, North Carolina. Excuse me, moving west-northwest at 13 miles per hour. So she's moving quite slowly. Pressure is at 939 millibars. So she's basically strengthening, folks. Last we heard it was 140 mile an hour sustained winds. But we do now have information from BP Earthwatch. You can look him up on YouTube and subscribe to him because he's covering this storm quite explicitly, and he's indicating now that she is beginning to strengthen toward a Category 5, and she's still over 1,000 miles away from landfall. So we have got a situation on our hands at the moment. South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland have all been placed under states of emergency. And as you probably know, Washington, D.C., part of it's in Maryland, part of it's in Virginia. So a lot of the storm appears to be going right in through that area, which there's some other interesting information I can give you on that shortly. But right now we'll stick to the hurricane. Okay. But all four of those states are now under states of emergency. The Hurricane Watch Net itself goes active. I believe at this time they're scheduled to go active at 11 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday morning. Now, they could move that up depending on, what Florence does, but about 11 a.m. Eastern time Wednesday morning. And I will be posting a link here in our own on our own Discord here so that it can be monitored. But you can look up Hurricane Watch Net .net, okay, and it runs on for all you ham radio operators out there. The Hurricane Watch Net frequency they run on during the daytime. They run on 13.325 megahertz. That's 20 meters. And then during the evening time, they run on 7.268 megahertz. That's 40 meters. And they're going to be running because the propagation's not as good as it could be, because we're also having solar flares on the sun and things. They're going to be running both frequencies simultaneously, so you can listen to one or the other. They will be beginning, if they haven't already, will be beginning evacuations from the coastal areas. Probably, I know Virginia is planning to begin evacuations as early as tomorrow. Some of those places, like South Carolina, North Carolina, and in that region, probably already beginning evacuations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with a sizable monster here, and we're keeping a close watch on it. And Johnny, I'll give it back to you at this point.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Chuck. Now, we've been watching the sweeps of this, of the radars, and this is going to reach all over I guess you call it the side winds of the hurricane. We're even going to get affected all the way up in New Mexico. But it's going to be devastating to the complete coast. So anybody on the coast, if you got friends that are, I would get on the west side of the Mississippi. The reason why is because you're going to get the rains, but that's about all it's going to be, is just heavy rains. But there's going to be, people need to listen. They need to evacuate. You need to get water. For those of you that are going to be far enough away where you'll get hit, but you need water. You need dry goods, propane stoves. I don't know how cold it gets there. You may need some type of heaters. But you need to stock up on emergency supplies. We will have places where, like I said, we will give that information later in the show. A phone number you can call if you want to donate food, clothing, medical stuff, money, whatever, to help these victims of the storm. Like we said, it's going to go from one end of the coast to the other, and this is not going to be pretty. Greg, would you like to take it from here? I have to wait on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, Greg.
I'm okay, I think now. Yeah, Johnny, what I'd like to say is I've lived through a lot of these hurricanes, and you don't realize, if you wait till it's too late, until you don't have electricity and you realize you can't use your water and you can't use your stove. Don't wait for this thing to hit you like a bullet through the head here, because you have to realize your gas stations aren't going to work. You're not going to be able to get any gas. The grocery stores are not going to be open. So you really have to prepare if you plan on staying. But I think Johnny's got the best idea. This is a Category 5. Now, I know a lot about hurricanes because I used to sell hurricane shutters, but by security shutters out of Florida. They were the only hurricane shutters that never failed. 250,000 installations. And before we had ever had a hurricane, we hadn't had one since Hurricane Donna in like 1961 or 2 or something. Our buildings weren't right for hurricanes. We really weren't ready for hurricanes. And we had put all these PVC German window treatments on all our high rises, thinking they were hurricane protection. And I was going up and down the coast trying to explain to these property managers that that's not hurricane protection. Well, lo and behold, those became the biggest flying objects. They were just stripped right off all the buildings because they really weren't hurricane code shutters. So a lot of people do have those now. Maybe you're a secure, hurricane secured home. But the important thing to remember is these storm surges can be really high. If you get 12 feet of water, man, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. So my first recommendation is just get inland. Along the coast is going to get it the worst. Follow the path, stay out of the path, but by all means, get out. That's the number one thing. Unless you absolutely cannot, and unless it's just not an option, you have no options. You have to get out, because a hurricane, if this thing is a Category 5, and I've studied these things very in depth, and I'll tell you, they'll take down buildings. I mean, block walls, brick buildings will fall down. Okay, your roof will come off. A 5 is nothing to mess with. And even a 4 can be very devastating. So, you have to plan for the worst. And right now it's a 4 and it's getting stronger and it's going through warm water. You have to understand, if it's a 5, your walls are going to fall down. Your roof is going to come off, and, I like to tell funny stories in my book. I tell about Fats Domino. I was telling him the day of the hurricane, trying to get him out of the house. Well, he wouldn't leave, and lo and behold, a few days later, the news kept saying that he was missing. While he was hiding in his attic, they had to chop him out and fly him away in a helicopter. So don't be like Fats. If you can get out, get the heck out. That's the first thing. I know you have stuff. Lock up your house. Everything will be okay. And get out. That's the first thing, is get out, get out, get out. If you can't get out, you better start thinking about what happens when 12 feet of water moves in around your house. You better start thinking about, you don't have electricity, you don't have clean water. So the best thing you can do is to get out. But if you're not going to get out, man, you better be ready. That's all I can say. Katrina, I lost my second record to Katrina, and we lost the recording studio. And, it wasn't that long ago. I don't know if you remember how devastating Hurricane Katrina was, but there was bodies floating in the waters, and your bridges may get flooded out, and there may not be a way out later. So you need to take this very seriously. And I've lived through enough of them to know that if this thing's a 5, this is a big event. And even if it's a 4, it's a big event. And the biggest thing is all that water. Imagine 12 feet of water outside your house. Now tell me, what are you going to do? Did you build an ark like Noah? If not, then you better start planning ahead what you're going to do. So that's my rant, but I've lived through so many and I've lost so much to hurricanes that I understand the power of these things. And I just think that, and if you can help us get volunteers there, I tell you, if it weren't for our volunteers dispersing water, and a guy came along and had a cart and was giving away free cheeseburgers. And man, I really appreciated that cheeseburger at that time. So these people really can help save lives and save the animals and save people, and keep people to sustain through it, because it can be months and months. People lose their homes and they have nowhere to go, and they've got to stay at shelters, and those people in shelters are going to need food. Those people in shelters are going to need water. Those people in shelters are going to need blankets. And those are the things that the United Constitutional Patriots do. So we really need you to go to the United United Constitutional Patriots page, or you can go to Love Tour Music Wave page on Facebook. And you can give us $20 or something. Remember, these guys, they're volunteers. They put all their time in free. All they need is gas to get to the location. Every penny is accounted for. They give credit cards and we get receipts, and you can see every single penny where it goes. It's the only charity where all your money goes where it's supposed to, and they get the absolute bang for the buck. You know, you can give your money here or that, but man, when you give your money to the United Constitutional Patriots, your money goes into the gas tank to get a volunteer there that's going to be working 16 hours a day. So you really get a lot of bang for your buck. So we're going to try and hope that you share the radio show if you're listening to this, and I'll be doing lives, and we hope you share those. And let's get the word out that we need to help out. You know, in Katrina, 90% of the people gave money and prayed, and we did save a lot of people. We didn't save everybody, but you have to be prepared for the worst. And as a nation, when things are the worst, Americans are at their best. You know, we are truly at our best. And I know that you're going to come through. I know that you care. I know that you're going to pray. And hopefully you're going to send the United Constitutional Patriots a few bucks for gas cards. So I guess that's all I wanted to say about it, Johnny.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have pen in hand, we have one of our groups in South Carolina, lives in South Carolina, boots on the ground. This is take this phone number to call him. He will tell you where to meet him for those that want to make donations. He is head of the Patriot group there. He's a very nice guy. And even he is in the danger zone, but he is doing his part as well as the Patriot. I'll get all donations to him. His name is Eddie Gonzalez, EDDIE GONZALEZ. Now, Eddie Gonzalez's phone number, 252-548-2184. I'm going to give that number again. Eddie Gonzalez, 252-548-2181. What he needs to have donated are blankets, socks, even underwear. We need dry goods that won't spoil. If you have tents, old tents, sleeping bags, shoes, clothes, medical, just your normal little medical kits, anything that will help these people through this that they're having. Waterproof matches is a very huge need because it's going to be raining, it's going to be wet. These things light. If you propane gas stoves, camp stoves, like stuff like that. I don't care if it's a barbecue grill. These things they can cook on. These things they can survive on. But one of the main is water, juices, like your orange juices, your tomato juices, stuff like this. This is all nourishment that they can use. Generators, if you've got them. Also, too, if you want, even if you're not with a Patriot group, if you have a boat, you want to go down, you want to help rescue these people that are going to be caught in their homes, on their homes, animals. And I hate to say it, we were doing it during the last hurricane down in Texas, even pulling loved ones out of the water that perished during the storms. Folks, this is a serious matter. That's why I'm urging anybody that is on the East Coast that is listening to us tonight, please go inland. Take what you can. You can't take everything. You may lose things. You may lose your family heirlooms, or heirlooms. but you'll have your life. And it's devastating to even think about it. There's kids, it doesn't stop reaching. I don't have a lot of faith in FEMA, but they are there to do what they can. But we are trying to set this up to where our people can get this stuff to them. Last time, FEMA wanted to throw a bunch of stuff away. Don't ask me why. They didn't want it. They wanted to throw it away. And we took it to another location. So this is what we're up against. That's the only thing that I can say. Again, I'm going to give you Eddie Gonzalez's number at 252-548-2184. And those of you that want to donate through our radio, we do have a fundraiser set up for the purpose of being able to get our troops down to where they can help. And they're coming from all over. They're not just coming from one place. And it's costly. But we need to be able to make sure we can get there to rescue these people. $20 can save somebody's life, because that's $20 that if we didn't have, may not have been able to get there. You know, we're not asking for a lot. One thing that I'd like to do is I'd like for Pete or Chuck to post our fundraiser account on the radio show, so you folks can get to it. Folks, this is important. There's friends, family. They all have friends and family. Let's save as many as we can. Help as many as we can. Pull together. Help each other. Stand unify. You might want to go buy a case of beer. The cost of that case of beer could pay for a tank of gas. This is what this is about, is helping each other. And it's important to all of us that we do this, and we do it together, do it for each other. That's what coming together is. That's what the love of God is about, is reaching out to help the fellow people when they're in trouble. That way you also know who your friends are. This could be you in that situation. We don't know. And I'm sure if you were in that situation, you would want somebody there. As you can see, the Hurricane Relief Fund is posted now, and I appreciate it. But we need to get this out to everybody. We need to reach in our pockets. I don't care if it's $1. That dollar, at least you did the best you could. I know it's tough times for everybody, but it's going to be tougher times for these people. They're going to lose everything they've got on the East Coast, and they're going to have to be the ones to recoup from it. I'd rather be able to give them $1 and know I did something than sit back and didn't do anything at all. You got anything to say, Greg?
Yeah, I was going to say, can you tell the people a little bit about what the United Constitutional Patriots has done in the past and how they've been the first of these things and been such a big help? Give them a little review of what the group has done before in hurricanes.
Okay. Hurricanes that hit Texas. We had boots on the ground. We had trucking companies that supplied truckloads of water, food, clothing. We had boots on the ground pulling bodies out of the water, pulling animals and people off of houses, getting people out of rest homes and stuff that had no way to get out. And that took gas money for the boats. It took gas money to get there. We helped relocate some of them. We transport them to places where they had a hot meal and a warm, safe, warm place to be. That's what we do. That's what we're about. We're not just about fighting for the Constitution. We are there to help the American people. That's what we are about. One person that's boots on the ground. If, like someone we had that was working with the Cajun Navy down there, if only one person was there, but they had 5 people in the boat, and they were going out getting people out. And that's what it's, I don't know, I get a little bit emotional on it because I've seen these bodies float.